Cheers, Taurus. Welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading for the last half of August. And you, Taurus, are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Taurus, we all have a little bit of Taurus in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Taurus in, that will give you further information about where this energy is most prominent for you. And this is also a general or collective reading, so just make sure you take what resonates for you and leave the rest. All right, the underlying energy for the reading is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is talking about a cup of love coming your way, or you wanting to offer a cup of love. This is, the cups in tarot do represent romantic love, but it also can be love of anyone or anything as well. It could be something that you love to do or something you love to be. The King of Cups is the one that's the most emotionally available and the most traditional. So when he offers a cup of love, it's generally like a cup of for marriage or taking relationship to the next level. He has his right foot forward here. And that's saying in body language that he's ready to jump up and take action. But he is sitting out here in the middle of all this water on this cement slab. And it's rough water. In tarot, rough water represents mixed emotions, and it also represents maybe chaos in someone's life. He's in the eye of the storm. He, of all the kings, is the most emotionally available because he understands how to discipline his energy around his emotions. And so this is talking about possibly an offer coming towards you. And the internal forces, which is the bottom part of the spread here, is talking about what you have control over. And you can tell that it's an internal force, because the questions you would be asking are, what if they do this, or what if I do that? And they do this, and I have to do that. It's the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life, basically. And you do have control over your internal forces. You just, you have to learn whether or not you want to react or respond to what's going on around you. It's always better to respond than react. You may have noticed that. And this card here, the Ten of Swords, the swords are the energy of, or the element of air. And it's talking about your thoughts, and possibly, and definitely actually, the thoughts of others around you, because here you are, left for unalive, and you've got 10 swords in your back. Now, you didn't do this to yourself, because how would you be able to do that? So definitely, these would be the thoughts of other people. And this is sort of a stabbed in the back and left for unalive. Now, this could be there's 10 swords here, so this could be a decade of energy. It could represent the energy of one person 10 times, or even 10 people or 10 groups of people. And this is saying that, you're down on the ground here, and that's where they want to keep you. And there is light at the end of the tunnel, though. And so this is saying that the end of this cycle is coming to an end. Yay, this is not good energy to be in. Having said that, this sometimes can be a blessing in disguise. The Hierophant, who brings justice into, from the spiritual realm down to the physical, also has his hand in the sign of a blessing. So we do have a King of Cups energy. Wanting to bring love in, which is awesome, or wanting to give love. And we also have this energy coming to the end of a cycle for the spread down here. We have the Three of Swords. So this is your self-image right now, how you're feeling in this moment. And clearly there's a lot of heartache or heartbreak here. This may have just occurred to you, or maybe you just found out, because we have a lot of cards here about justice and judgment. So this energy is saying, you can see, like, this isn't great. There's three swords in this person's heart. When you look at it again, though, you realize that the heart is actually quite big in context with the swords. And this energy you know, is saying that it's something that you could heal from. These would be more like, you know, maybe pins or nails, that type of energy. Not that that's great, but it's better than swords in your heart. And we do have the heart in the throat, which can talk about you feeling like you cannot speak your truth, or you're afraid to speak your truth. There can be harsh words have been spoken. It can also represent gossip and slander, sometimes in a court of law, and we do have a lot of justice energy here. This can represent perjury in court. This also can talk about a heartbreaking decision that needs to be made. Now, if this is in your romantic love life, quite often it represents a third-party energy that is splitting a couple apart. And so we have, that's the self-image at this time. And we do have a Page of Cups here, which is interesting because we have a solid offer of love here. And, you know, the page would work for the king, basically. So the pages would start working for the court 7 to 14 years of age. Back then, people started working a lot earlier because they had a much shorter lifespan, and it was a necessity. This would be a real coup, though, because for him and his family, it would be very prestigious, and, you know, dressed to the nines and being able to learn the ways of the elite and be educated in matters of finances, etc., because he would be responsible for delivering communication and throughout the court, basically, and communication and information. And so he would have it would be a lot of training for him. And by the time he was 21, if he was still there, he might even be considered for knighthood. This energy is talking about, this quite often is about love. He is very focused on this fish in this cup. Now, he knows there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he is totally focused on this fish. So this is, again, there's definitely, it looks like there's some sort of love coming in. You know, as I said, though, it could be, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be anyone, anything, and something you love to do or be. The one thing about the Page of Cups coming out with this energy and this energy is it also can be saying that there's something fishy in your love life, and maybe, you know, what happens to a fish if you leave it out of water too long? It starts to smell. So something could stink in your relationship. Now, because the 7 to 14 years of age, you know, when the pages begin their work, this could be talking about the information or communication coming in about someone, or about a time when you were in elementary school, high school, starting out college, university, or maybe apprenticing somewhere at work. It can be, you know, someone coming in with that from that knew from back then around that time. It could be about someone. Or it could just be representing that this was happening, you know, for a long time. That whatever's going on here has been going on for a long time. And maybe you've known, you know, if this Page of Cups worked for the King of Cups, it could be someone that you knew when you were, you know, under the age of 21 generally. Or it could be also representing an energy. Someone could be, you know, like 80 and be in this energy, like they're just head over heels in love, like a young kid again, you know, that type of energy. And this is talking about abundance. So we have, here's where you're at, but here, you know, this could be the reason why. It could be a third-party energy, or something if it's romantic love, or it could be something else going on. We do have the Emperor. And the Emperor is talking about a very high performance individual. He literally wears his armor underneath his robe, so that at a moment's notice, if there's an opportunity going by, he's going to be ready to grab it. And the Ankh here does talk about rebirth. So this could be some sort of energy. Now, this would be quite often an authority figure. Whatever the Emperor is doing, whatever, you know, his career is, he would be at the top of his game. This is really a very powerful alpha male energy. And the other thing is, he represents all four kings from the minor arcana rolled into one person, because he has so much life experience and has mastered a lot of qualities from those four kings. So this energy sometimes can represent that the emperor is in this energy, or these could be two totally separate people. This is in the position of when you were younger, like early communication in your life, how you were raised, who you look up to as authority figures, how they were. Sometimes the emperor energy can be very controlling, my way or the highway. So you may have had like a father figure in your younger life that was very much the ruler of the home. My home is my castle and you'll do as I say. And when you asked why, because I said so. And that was the end of the conversation. And then we have the Justice card coming in. So Justice is talking about, she's sitting here also with her right foot forward, like the King of Cups, and she is that's saying she's ready at a moment's notice to, when she gets the word, to move forward from an authority figure. And I feel this is talking more on the physical. She will be ready to impart the justice. She's got the sword in her right hand, and this is saying the sword of justice is a double-edged sword. So if you're on the right side of the law, it's going to be justice coming in for you with a blessing. If you're on the wrong side of the law, well, and that's spiritual and physical, you're going to have to pay the consequences. Now, this is the energy behind her. This veil is speaking about how thin the veil is between the spiritual and the physical realm, and how everything manifests on the spiritual level first, including justice. Judgment comes in from the Most High, and then that is brought down into the 3D world. Now, this also does represent karma and redemption from karma. You could have direct karma where you take actions that cause others suffering and struggle, and sometimes even their demise. Exactly this kind of energy here. The karma that would be direct. It's you did something yourself and it's caused this energy. Now, a lot of people think karma is punishment, but it's actually cause and effect for your actions. And indirect karma would be like, quite often it's leftover actions from your ancestors that could go way down the line, or your parents, your grandparents, great grandparents, and that they maybe weren't able to clean up shift before they cross the veil. And so the descendants then are kind of left with that responsibility. And so you could have associations with indirect karma also from extended family members or friends, business people you do business with, people that you associate with, basically. And then there's karmic spaces, which any one of us can easily fall into because we're human and we make mistakes. And so this is talking about karma being distributed as well as along with the justice. And here and this is in where you're feeling at right now. I feel you want justice for something, and I don't blame you. It looks like you may have gone through this for a very long time, and it's hard to get shift done when you're in this position. So it looks like judgment has been called on the spiritual realm. The Most High is blaring his horn. The angel's blaring her horn, or his horn, and saying, okay, justice is finally here. And the ancestors are literally climbing out in their boxes because they're so excited. Yay, finally justice is being called. And we have the descendants across the water here representing the distance across the veil. Acknowledging each other back and forth. Now, this card quite often can represent some skeletons falling out of the closet, and on a larger scale, it can represent what's going on, in the world. Pandora's box being opened, that type of, more of on a global level. And then this is in your position of creativity, romance, and children. So something could have happened here. I mean, sometimes this can be you know, your thoughts can be intellectual material or patents, that type of energy. So something's going on here that you are wanting justice for. And maybe you might even be wanting justice for your parents and for your children. And we have the Strength card here. And so the Strength card is talking about facing your deepest fears and having the courage to do so, to figure out, okay, what am I doing that is allowing this energy in, and how can I shift this energy so that I get my justice? It takes a lot of courage to face your shadow side. This young woman here is reaching into this mature lion's mouth, and she's doing that because he represents her fears. And she's digging really deep and to be able to access those fears and face them head on and figure out how she's going to shift the energy so that she's free of that, because she wants to reach her infinite potential, 100% to the power of infinity and beyond. And so this lion, he's actually being very submissive. He's a mature male lion. And he's got his tail tucked under like a dog. So he knows, he can tell she means business here. And so he's allowing her to do so. And so we have, this is in your health, wealth, and the way, your daily routines, how, what can you do to change in your daily routines and how you think and how you speak to yourself. This quite often does talk about inner voice energy, how you talk to yourself about yourself. And sometimes the words that others speak can be very harsh, but sometimes the way we speak to ourselves can be even worse. So it's talking about cleaning that up, because if you don't stand up for yourself, other people aren't going to. Now the energy here, let's find out what's going on from the external forces. The bottom part of the spread is the what ifs, and the top is the external forces. And as I said, you have control of your internal forces. You can't control the external forces so much, like usually very little actually. You can't control the economy and what's happening at the top of the world all by yourself. And you most certainly can't control other people, what they say, what they do. But you do have control over whether you react to it or you respond to it. And you may have noticed it's always better to respond instead of react, even when it's to this point. So this Six of Cups energy is talking about sometimes going back to this energy. This quite often can represent your subconscious mind that's formed by when you're very young, and it's heavily imprinted. And so sometimes the fears from our childhood can affect us well into our adulthood. So sometimes this is talking about this childhood energy. It also can be talking about reconciliation. So of course, if you are going to reconcile with someone, that would imply that perhaps you are, forgiveness is needed. And the thing is, when you forgive someone, it's a gift for yourself. So you could forgive someone and never ever have anything to do with them, or even tell them that you forgive them. You just forgive them for yourself so that you can pull these swords out and heal your heart, so you have the love in your life that you want again. It's a healing energy. And this is talking about this card sometimes is talking about reconciliation, and at other times it can be talking about reunions. So it could be saying as well, because we have this Page of Cups working for this King of Cups, it could be saying that, the king is someone that you knew way back when. Now, you didn't, if this is someone that you've already had a relationship with, that would be up to you whether or not you invite them back into your life. But remember, people do have a tendency to show us who they are the first time around. And, I feel like this energy coming in is more of a new energy. We'll see. This card, and when you look at it, at first it looks like there's two children playing in the yard, but when you look closer, you realize, hey, that's a gnome and that's a little woman. And the little woman, she is, when you look at her from behind, she looks like an old hag. When you look at her from the front, she looks young. They're both wearing the white mitt. Neither one wants the flowers because they, you know, they don't want to get their mitt dirty. And the old hag is like, go away, we don't want your stupid flowers. They're not even yours to give away. The younger woman, though, she still is people-pleasing. So she's like, you know, she's like over-explaining herself. You know, we're in our finery and we don't want to get our mitts dirty. Instead of just saying, we don't want the flowers. And, you know, another illusion here is that these flowers, white flowers in tarot, represent innocence. But these flowers are not innocent because these flowers are from the nightshade family. And this is Datra. And you would never let children play with this plant. And you wouldn't plant it in your yard with children there or with pets, because if they ingest it, they could become very ill. Shamans sometimes use this in their ceremonies to cause visions, to heal inner child energy. But they're working with adults and they know what they're doing. They've been doing it for centuries. So this energy is, you know, really a big illusion. And even the person in the background there that looks like they're watching over the children is actually just a stranger walking away when you look closer. So this is saying there could be a lot of illusions about your childhood, and you could you know, really, this could be an energy of needing to heal that energy, something that happened in your childhood that maybe gives you this feeling like you have to take people back when they've treated, because this energy sitting together here, I feel like this is talking, like this can be talking about someone that did not treat you that well, and it caused this kind of energy in the past. It doesn't have to be. This could also just be saying that this is someone that knew that you've met, but we're going to have to get further into the reading to be able to see that. So let's see what the next card up. We have the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is talking about the seeds that you've sown for your health, wealth, happiness. Pentacle energy is the element of earth, and it's represented by the coin, because it's about earthly matters. And, you know, money matters in earth for sure. We need money to be able to purchase the shift that causes, you know, that creates a good lifestyle for us. And so this is talking about learning the discernment of the give and take of how much time, money, and energy you're willing to invest in another person, a project, a business, whatever that is, friends, family. And it's also talking about, you know, having the discernment to know when to stop. And this is, and what, you know, what do you anticipate in return? Is it a fair exchange of energy? This is talking about having brought your harvest in after sowing the seeds, and now you're giving some of that away to charity, which is very generous of you. And this person you're giving it to is, you're giving it to them because you can see that this person really could use this to be able to move forward, and they're very grateful for it and will use it wisely. Whereas your discernment is telling him, his discernment is saying, this person, he's got the scales of justice over their head because they have something in their back pocket. This is a grifter. This is someone who's pretending they don't have enough because they don't want to risk their own money, but they're willing to risk someone else's. And quite often this energy can talk about the energy of being, you know, wanting to risk someone else's money and breadcrumbing you so that, you know, taking your money. And so you're noticing, how come, you know, I'm not, how come I don't have the same lifestyle I used to have? This is the energy. And, you know, I feel it has quite a bit to do with this. Now, this is partnerships, commitment, and marriage. And then we have the star coming in. So this is saying that you are healing and you are determined to be on your path. And the star energy is galactic. It's talking about following your North Star energy, being in your North Node, your destined path, and adding your own unique qualities to the universal pool of water, and then bringing that out onto, pouring it onto Earth. And you notice there's 5 streams here, and those 5 streams are actually representing the points on the star in the pentacle. And so there's also, we have the Pleiades in the background there, the 7 stellar sisters, talking about aligning your energy, your chakras, to be able to make this transition. And this is in your energy of transition. So I feel that this energy is coming to an end and you're getting back on your feet here. We have communication here, and we, you know, and this is about love. So we still don't know for sure, but if this is your reading and you're in this situation, you would know whether or not, you know, this is. One thing to keep in mind is that right now, on August 12th, we had a total solar eclipse with the new moon. And that new moon energy was in the sign of Leo. And so it's very, there's a lot of love in the air, and love for yourself, and wanting to be an individual, and at the same time wanting to love others. There's a lot of that energy around. So we had the eclipse on the 12th, and we have another eclipse coming up on the 28th. That one will be in the sign of Pisces, and that's going to be a total lunar eclipse. I'm going to do a bonus reading for that after these ones when we get a little bit closer to that date. So just know that it's not uncommon when we're in between, like it's almost like being caught in between, you know, and just kind of like a lull in the energy, and it can feel really heavy at times, like nothing's happening, and you know, it can be kind of frustrating. So just be aware. That's about the main thing. And one that astrologically, I mean, we're still dealing with a lot of the astrological effects of what was going on since the beginning of the year. There was a lot happening with a lot of the big planets, and there also is on August 3rd, Chiron moved into went retrograde, and so it's going retrograde until the beginning of January in 2027. So just keep in mind that Chiron is about the wounded warrior and really looking after yourself at this time, like you know, working on yourself, putting yourself first, making sure that you're healthy, making sure your habits are strong, and making the little changes that you want to make now before the next eclipse on the 28th, so that you're in a really good, strong position to move forward. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving of all of the knights in the deck. And his energy, it can be kind of frustrating waiting for the Knight of Pentacles to come in. His horse is literally at a standstill here. He could have a board meeting with himself just to decide when to brush his teeth. And it can be really, you know, like just someone who's really careful about the facts. But this in the Pentacle energy can be a very good thing when it comes to financial matters and big decisions, you know, that change your lifestyle. It's always good to do your homework, and that's what this is saying. Like, really look into things right now. Take the time to make sure that you're protecting yourself so that you can get out of this energy. If someone is coming back into your life, make sure that's what you want, that you're not just doing it out of you know, like that you feel like you have to for some reason, or because you're lonely or whatever. It's not a bad idea if you're going through a bit of a lull in your love life to focus on your career, because you might be shocked about how much energy you've actually been putting into a relationship that's not an equal exchange of energy. And when you start putting that into the Pentacle energy, woohoo, you can have a really good result. So we do have this is your a transition is happening, way better energy coming in for you. There's going to be some important information coming in about pentacle energy, your lifestyle changing, something really awesome happening. And then we have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, again, would be bringing in communication, information. Sometimes this comes from yourself, and it can be an energy like when you have an epiphany. And it's like one of those aha moments where you have an idea and you're like, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. It can also talk about using both, the sword energy, as I said, represents your thoughts. And so this can be about using both sides of the sword so that you have your intuition and your logic, especially at the time of like when we're in an eclipse season, caught in between these two eclipses. This energy, it can be like a breath of fresh air. And if you're caught in between two situations that you're like, you're in a tug of war, the best thing you can do is just let go of the rope. So this is talking about letting go of the rope. Starting to look after yourself and putting yourself first. And we do have, this is in your position of your career and your reputation. So you might be getting some good information coming in regarding your career and reputation. Like maybe it's an offer, for a position somewhere, or you've launched a project or a business or something. And this is saying that you're getting good feedback from it. As well, this can sometimes represent communication of an investigation happening, like looking, doing research on something. But sometimes this can also represent like an investigation, like because of this happening. And we have judgment and we have justice coming in, and we also have this major authority figure. So definitely there could be, this could be a private eye detective that you've hired or someone else has hired to get to the truth. This could be the Emperor's energy. Now, you could be in the Emperor's energy, and remember, all of the cards in tarot are not gender specific. They are archetypes that represent masculine and feminine energy. So this could be a woman in a very alpha male energy, someone that really has to, put on her pants so that she can get out of this energy. And so, as well as it being, and if this isn't your energy, you could even be the King of Cups wanting to offer love, or I feel like there's something going on here that's being investigated for some of you. Now, as I said, this is a breath of fresh air. It's about moving forward in your career, your reputation, your public image, and that could just be for yourself, that it comes from within you where you have an epiphany, or there could actually be some information. Sometimes this talks about legal and illegal surveillance, and that could be like using technology like hidden cameras and microphone, hot mics, that type of thing. We do have the 10 of Wands. So this card has been coming up in a lot of the readings. Now, definitely with this card, I think this was Aries had both of these, if I remember correctly, as well. So like we got 10 swords and we have 10 wands. So the 10 wands is representing these seeds that were planted, actions that were taken, and you're bringing your harvest in. Now, and this can also represent the actions of other people in your inner circle, and actions, like with you're carrying and holding for others. You can see this person is exhausted, and remember, Chiron is saying, look after yourself. This card is saying, whatever you do, don't quit now. This person is like so tired, they're almost about to quit. And they can't, you may have heard that saying, can't see the forest due to the trees. That's saying that you're so up close into the details that you can't see the big picture anymore. So he can't see how close to home he actually is. This is saying you're very close to your goals. So whatever you do, don't quit now. And if you have any burdens that you're carrying for other people, make sure you put them down right there in the field. And it also can say that there could be some ways that you need to look at where you could take the pressure off yourself by delegating responsibility to others, or letting go of some responsibilities, letting go of, so you have time to rest and heal this energy and move, because there's some really good energy coming towards you, but you don't want to be so tired that you miss it. And that's talking about your blessings coming in. And then we have the Knight of Wands. So rebel with the cause. So this is more information coming in. This could be coming from this cup of love, that this is about to come in now, because, and it's passionate. So this is confirming that this is a romantic situation, if you're looking for that. And if not, this would be someone that's very passionate about empowering you to move forward to do something that you love to do. The rebel with the cause has learned, like the King of Cups here, that it's always better to respond to energy than to react. The big red plume on the back of his helmet here is representing that he has been impulsive in the past, and also can be a real hothead, but he has learned to rein his emotions in and discipline his mind, so that when he takes action, it's the strongest action possible. His horse is rearing up because the horse is like, no, let's go. This is representing heartfelt energy and passion. But see, the King of Cups knows that if he offers this cup of love before someone's ready for it, he's probably not going to get the result that he wants. And that's what this energy is saying. And it's also talking about knowledge here, about the ways of the world and wonders of the world, and having, wanting more adventure in your life and doing new with new people and having passion again. I do feel that this is coming in pretty quick here, because it's like right here, as soon as this energy is ready to accept this energy, then I feel it will happen. Excuse me. I have a little bit of a cough because I'm in the Okanagan in British Columbia, and we have had a lot of forest fires, and unfortunately the smoke has come our way again today, and I can notice right away this morning this energy of it coming through. So I apologize for that. But I'm not sick, it's just the air. All right, I'm going to clarify with my oracle cards from the bottom. We have the energy here, and the numbers on these cards represent paintings that I've done for my oracle, Tales from the Vector. This is one of the paintings from it. And I will put, this is the way they're numbered is how they're numbered on my website. And I will also put them in the description box below in the order they appear here, so that, oh, look at the sun's on the bottom. So it's a peak. Well, we may as well put it out. This is for the external forces. All right, so we have the, I'll put it in the description box below, and the information for my website is there. In case you want to take a look at the other paintings, it might give you more clarity. So we have the Hermit energy. So this is after a dark night of the soul. The Hermit goes, climbs the mountain, isolates to be able to be with the Most High, which is represented here with the Sun energy. And once his lantern is full of the light of the North Star energy here, then he knows, okay, this is the path that I need to take. And he comes down from the mountain, and that's when he takes action. Over here, I feel that's what's going to be happening. And we have the Lovers here. So this is sitting right on the end. It could be two ways here, because remember this card here, we were talking about having a lover that might be stinky and fishy. And so it could be saying that this lover was involved in this energy that caused you this heartache and heartbreak. It also can be saying, because this is an end of a cycle, that a new lover is coming in. So you'll have to use your discernment here on that. We do have anger. I feel like a part of the problem is you want justice, and you're angry, and you don't feel like you can heal until you get justice. But be aware that sometimes the healing comes and then the justice follows. It's because you let go of holding all that energy in your heart and closing it to what the universe is trying to give you. And so the thing about anger is it's the gift that keeps on giving, and your ancestors might be really angry. Something may have happened to them, so you might be clearing more than your own energy here. You might be clearing like something for your entire bloodline. And we have the lack of awareness here is, never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. So basically, this is missed opportunities because you were in an energy where you just didn't want to see really what was going on with this individual. I feel this, and that someone in your past definitely was here, and you never know. It could be someone that worked for the king, and that's how the king knows. And when he found out what happened, maybe he fell in love with you, or maybe you're the king, yourself. Like, so just take it how it is. And as I said, this could also represent the emperor energy being in this king energy, or this could just be talking about an authority figure that is this could be a judge or someone that is calling judgment on the physical realm so that you get justice, not just in the spiritual realm, but also in the physical. And so this energy is talking strong communication here. And so, yeah, the Emperor energy, this could be talking about having, a lot of energy of analytical critique, looking at the entire situation from every angle and coming to some sort of judgment. And this could be a court, this could be a judge or a prosecutor or someone higher up in the legal system. And this also can talk about anal criticism that, remember I said, this is from childhood. So this could be someone in your life that was an authority figure could also be involved in this energy. So we're going to have to take it whichever way that it resonates with you. And then the Pisces energy is talking, I feel, about the energy of Neptune having moved into the sign of Aries. So Neptune moved into the sign of Aries about 3.5 months ago now, I think it is. And the Pisces energy, Neptune rules over Pisces, and this is our idealism. It's like Neptune in Pisces was very forgiving in many ways, like more patient, like this king here. Things will work out, and you have your system set up, and if you do it this way, it's going to work out, and it's that type of energy. But Neptune, after 14 years, moved into the sign of Aries. And that's the very first sign in the zodiac. Pisces is the senior executive, the last sign. Huge difference in the energy. This is a water sign, and Aries is a fire sign. And Aries is the infant, the very first sign in the zodiac. So this is like the baby's crying, and nobody can stop it from crying. And if you've ever had a newborn, you know what that's like. And so this energy can be having to tweak all of your systems that worked, because for the next 14 years we're going to be more, the Aries energy is a fire sign, and it's way more aggressive. It's ruled by Mars. It wants to have, get her done kind of energy. Then we have Temperance, and this is having a devotion to your destined path and being like calm. It's again talking about the importance of reining the emotions in. That's been coming up a lot with the readings, and I just emphasizing again that when we're caught in between that energy on the 12th and the 28th, between the two eclipses happening, it can feel really heavy sometimes and really emotional. And then we have Perception, and this is talking about seeing. The perception is, there could have been an energy here where this energy thought the grass was greener on the other side. If it makes you feel any better, now they know it's fake, and that's why they might be coming back in. So keep that in mind. People have a tendency to show us who they are the first time around, especially if they were involved in this energy, and this energy's with it, and this energy. You might be better off taking the offer from the King of Cups, or this other energy coming through. Because the sun is shining on this external force here. And what this could be saying, when the sun shows up in a tarot reading, it's talking about the happiest card in the deck having a happy outcome. So the external forces coming towards you are benefiting you in many ways. And so it's talking about if this is an energy of someone from your past, I feel it's like someone new that's coming in that you maybe knew from before. It doesn't have to be from when you were a childhood, but it could be a long time since you first saw them. And it's most likely someone that you didn't have a relationship with already, a significant other relationship. So just keep in mind that, people do have a tendency to show us who they are the first time around, but that would be totally up to you. You have to use your intuition on how you want to deal with that energy. Look at this. We have the Emperor here in this position here, wanting to come in and help you plant seeds, basically. So I feel this Emperor could be this king now that's kind of clarifying that energy, or a judge or someone like that is involved in investigating something to make sure you get this pentacle that you have coming to you. Look at your here for yourself. That's always a really good sign in a reading. You've got the sun and yourself representing yourself in this reading. So we have, this is about love again. Taurus is ruled by Venus. And again, it's talking about the give and take in life and also in your love life. That includes your romantic love life. So keep that in mind as well. And justice coming in with this pentacle. And justice here. So that's reconfirming again. And this is redemption from karma. So I feel like this could also it might be taking long because it's more than you think it is. And what I mean by that, you might be clearing up something that happened back from your grandfather or your great-grandfather or whatever. Sometimes this can represent the more patriarchal energy. So justice is coming in. And look we have that Aries energy. So definitely it's saying you might want to take a new view on things, look into doing things in new ways, embrace the new. That's what it's saying. And then we have the Earth Star. So you're going to be able to manifest it a very powerful way. As soon as you have to let down these burdens. Now, it's interesting because this was also for Aries. So I think it's a common theme. It's saying whatever's not working for you right now that you have felt like for some reason you have to hang on to. It's time to let it go so that you can open the door for this new energy coming in. And we also have Cancer here. So this is talking about the adolescent energy from the moon. So really emotional energy, and saying again, rein those emotions in. If you're feeling really anxious right now and up and down in your emotions, you're not alone. A lot of people feel this way, and it can feel really heavy. Like, whoa, everything's so horrible. But then, Cancer is ruled by the moon, and it's talking about, when you're younger, you don't have the control over your emotions as much. And if you remember being like an adolescent girl, say, and her first boyfriend just broke up with her, it's a very emotional energy. So just recognize that and don't let it pull you down. Instead, become engaged in it and use the energy to work for you. I feel like there's a really good shift coming towards you. And remember, the eclipse season can be like about a 6-month-ish path. All right, I do hope you've enjoyed this energy. I feel like it has a lot of really good information for all of us. And thank you for your time and your energy, your likes, your comments, and subscribes. I really do appreciate them. And I will be back with the next astrological reading. Will be bonus for the full moon energy coming in on the 28th. Bye for now, Taurus.